Hey, folks, we're about to introduce you to something unique and different than anything that's come along in 50 years. And well, I'm going to share with you why it's different, why people succeed, and why you failed in the past. So let's ask a couple questions. If I were to ask the audience, how many people have even made $500 a month ongoing over the cost of any product or service, the number of people that could raise their hand is less than 15%. That's not a good number, folks. So why do people fail? And the answer is quite simple. The average person can bring in 2.8 people in any opportunity in a year. And that's not enough to make any money. And number two reason is when you do bring people in, they're there for 3 or 4 months, haven't made any money, and they quit. So you're funnel marketing. You're trying to pour more people in the top than fall out the bottom. And it just doesn't work. And the third thing that happens is you don't get a lot of help. You're left out like a prune on the end of the branch, drying out until you shrivel up and die. And that is an obstacle that stops you from making money. You never learn how to do it the right way. So today we're going to share with you something that turns all that around. We're going to show you how to finally make a decent amount of money online. So what do we have? We're des Alpes. We're in the business of changing lives. Des Alpes is the brainchild labor of love that was created over the past 4 years by a few close friends. Pay close attention. Their aim was to help average people create a substantial, life-changing income in a relatively short period of time. Now, I'm gonna put a statement out there, and I'm gonna repeat it because I want this to sink in. Des Alpes will put more money in people's hands faster than any legit opportunity on the planet. More money faster in people's hands than any legit opportunity on the planet. I want that to sink in. So at this point, I need to do the disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor. The information I'm going to present is not financial advice. If you need advice, seek a professional, licensed person in that field. We're going to give you examples of potential earnings, but we don't live in a perfect world, so the numbers won't always apply perfectly. We can't guarantee what you will earn. We're going to show it based off of individual effort and circumstances that'll vary one individual next is what will determine what you make. So what do we have? What do we do? Our products are very high quality products available for cost, affordable cost, excellent quality and price ratio, possibility of offering your own products, cash back on every purchase from the community members. So now we're going to have a shopping mall that will start off with about 240 products initially, and then add about 100 products per month. We hope eventually we're going to have maybe 2,500 or more products in the mall. Now, Des Alpes is unique in several ways. We actually build 3 different compensation plans at the same time with the same people. Okay? Same people. So I'm going to talk about the 2x20 mirror image first and the unilevel. There'll be videos in your back office that go into great detail on both of these, all 3 actually. So when you have a 2x20, and we'll get into the nuts and bolts or what I call the meat and potatoes, a little few slides up, but we want to talk about this first. We have a forced 2x20. That means you only have 2 slots. And the unilevel, which pays a matching bonus 50% on your first level. That's your personally sponsored, okay? Level 2, 20. Level 3, 10. 10 and 10, okay? You must make one monthly purchase at any price point. Doesn't matter if it's $5 or it's $500, doesn't matter, okay? So we want you to imagine millions of membership beneath you that you could potentially earn commissions on, okay? So I want to give you an example. I think in the next slide we'll do that. Yeah, we'll do it right here. I want to give you an example of a product sold that I'm aware of, in fact, that the product sells on the open market currently for $59.95 plus shipping. We have a contract with them for $30 and they ship it, okay? So if it goes into the mall, we're going to list it for about $50. If we sell that product for $50, that gives us a $20 profit. Now, the way this is set up on this portion of the compensation is that $20 is divided by 2 parts, 10 on one end and 10 on the other. So $10 divided over 20 levels is 50 cents a level, right? The other 10 goes into the matching bonus, the unilevel. 50% of the pay, matching bonus. 20% of your second generation pay, and so on, all the way down to 5 generations. Now, also, from our original meat and potatoes, we have points. And when we get to that compensation plan, I'll break this down even farther. But in there, you're going to notice 20-point Alpes points, 30, 40, and 50, all goes in the same pool of money. So here's what happens, folks. I'm going to put it in the simplest way I can. I'm going to give you an example of what the mall potentially could do just based on numbers that we already have. I have currently somewheres around 2,500 people plus in my matrix. 2,500. We started 14 weeks ago. I started with 2 people. It's grown to over 2,500 in 14 weeks. Now, I'm going to cut that and use lowest numbers I can, just for an example. So let's say I didn't have 2,500. I've only got 1,000, okay? Basically filled 10 levels, right? More or less. So the way this works, the average profit on an item sold will average $5. Why? Because of these Alpes money going into this will beef it up and make it average at least $5. Folks, you can do the math. What is $5 times 1,000? Monthly. Monthly. Okay? Will that change your life? I hope so. Right? I hope so. So, you can do the math, folks. It's right there, black and white for you. So, how does it all come together? We have 3 possibilities scenarios that you could be, okay? When you come in, most people will come in at the 120 mark. $9 goes to your back office, so it costs you $9 for your back office. A customer pays $20 a month, and they receive Alpes points, the 20, 30, 40, 50, or what we call cash back for 10 levels, right? They don't participate in the matrix itself for earnings, but they do get cash back every time somebody purchases. It can accumulate and pay they actually can pay the 120 based off of their points at some point in time. Okay. But basically they get free shopping. They'll earn enough to do free shopping. So that tells you why somebody would pay $20 a month and $9 for your back office. The same people that will tell you no will turn around and pay Amazon $15 a month so they get free shipping. And that's all they get. And get to watch movies. Okay? So this is a heck of a deal. Okay? I had to look at this close to realize what a great deal it was. Now, a VIP customer. That basically is somebody who's coming in brand new. They pay the 120, okay? And they pay the $9 for the back office. They pay $20 a month until, okay? And we'll talk about that in a minute. So how does it work, okay? It works because they'll receive $50 in online store credit for 2 people who reach their first level of what we call spillover, okay? The other 50 go to the sponsor who created the spillover, okay? The one that created it. So you got $100 going in, but 50 is going to go to the VIP customer and the other to the sponsor that actually created the spillover, okay? And we have videos on that to really break it down. Now, this VIP customer, as soon as they sponsor one person, they become an ambassador, okay? And once you become an ambassador, you go into the meat and potatoes compensation, and we're going to really dig into that. But I want to make sure there's no confusion, okay? No confusion. An ambassador is what we all strive to be. We want to have, generally speaking, 2 people, okay? There's a purpose, and we'll go into that in another screen. But I want to break down this right here, and I'll break it down in the next screen, because you notice this has got boxes in red, right? And this isn't boxed at all. So we want to show you that. Okay? VIPs and ambassadors can get only paid on 12 levels, right? Customers can only get paid on 10 levels cash back. Okay? Now, I want to break this down real close because this will be confusing if I don't. A customer could upgrade to levels 6 through 10 or 11 through 20 based off of the cash back they earned in the 10 levels and never pull it out of their pocket. Okay, you can't buy your way in, but you can use the money in your back office. Okay? It's banked until you get there and you upgrade. You never lose any of it. That's mind-boggling. Any other company that you've ever been in, if you didn't qualify for bonuses or certain pay, the company got it as slippage. It went to the company. That's not true in this else. We bank it until you qualify for it. Okay? VIPs and ambassadors only get paid on 12 levels in the 2x20 cashback. However, when a VIP or ambassador upgrades to the $200 level, okay, and we haven't got to that screen yet, so hold any questions till I get there. Now they get paid up to 14 levels. When they upgrade to level 3, 16 levels. When they upgrade to level 4, 18 levels. And when they upgrade to level 5, you get paid up to 20 levels in your cash back. Now, we're going to cover how that works. I'm going to go back one screen. Remember, 200, then level 3, level 4, level 5 will take you to 20. Okay? So, here's some quick points. We have a one-time $129 out of pocket that can earn you an amazing income. Folks, there's no auto ship. Here's what I want you to picture. In the past, people quit on you after 3 or 4 months. Why? Because they were putting money in, but they didn't have anything coming out. They weren't making any money. They're buying a product they may or may not even like. Here we have no auto ship. All monthly upgrades come out of your profit, and they're optional. No one drops out of this deal, and you'll see why in a little bit. Folks, how do you join? Well, if you're in a country that accepts credit card or debit card, use your credit or debit card. If not, you can get paid or you can join by USDC, but USDC is not quite there yet, okay? It'll be here shortly. We're working on it right now. We have global daily pay by what? Direct deposit or USDC. We have a debit card that'll come out very shortly. We've already got the contract, and we're going to talk about that debit card in a little bit. Now, you must be 18 years of age or older and know your customer will be done. What do I mean by that? Folks, you could take one position in the company. Do not try and stack EINs and LLCs and these so-called companies you may own. If you have a financial interest, you can't do it. Okay? So don't try. It's not worth it. There's so much money to be made. You don't need to cheat the system. Be above board. Be honest and be honest with people you talk about the opportunity with. Just stick to the facts and you'll be good. Okay? Just sticking with the deal, following our lead, and you'll see your income increase almost automatically over time. So let's get into the meat and potatoes, folks. This is where it gets fun, okay? So what do we have? We have a forced 2x20. If you're not familiar with that, it means you only have 2 people on your first level, 4 on your second, 8 on your third, 16 and 32 in your first 5 levels, okay? But it goes all the way down 20. But right now, we want to talk about our first 5 levels because the compensation plan changes after 5 levels. So let's break it on down. Now, notice any of this happens, you're paid immediately. Folks, you're not waiting till the end of the month like you do with the mall. In the mall, you're paid once a month. Here, we're going to pay you immediately when 2 things happen. Either somebody joins that falls in your 2x20, or they upgrade, okay? So when I come along, I pay my $129. 9 goes to my office. $10 is going to go into Alpes points. $10, okay? It reoccurs every 30 days. It's reoccurring, but it's not coming out of your pocket. So I went out there and I got Bob and Robert. Those are my actual 2 first people. And the company is going to pay me $100 per person. I've now made $200 gross, folks. Let me ask you a question. Is $200 more than the $129 I put in? Right? Is $200 more than the 129 I initially put in. You bet. I'm already in profit on paper anyway, right? I hadn't even started. I'm already there. So now my job changed. Okay? My job changed because I need to help the two people get their two people. Most people will do this rather quick. Some need help. Okay? So I help my two people get their two people. That's 4. Now my upgrade, my new monthly expense for this level is $200. 10 more in Alpes points, right? Now they're going to pay me $100 per person in my downline. $600 more gross. So here I've got expenses, folks. I got 800 coming in, 200 and 600, but I got, 200 and 129 coming out of that, right? Am I in profit? You bet. Am I ever going to quit? Oh, no. Okay? So my job changed again, folks, and we're going to break this down real detail in a little bit. But for sake of time, I'm going to help the 4 people get their 2 people, 8 people. My upgrade costs $330. Okay? Do I have enough to cover the $330? You bet. I'm in profit. Okay? So now we have 8 new people. We have a total of 14. My gross income, right? 1,400 more gross income. Okay? Am I starting to make a little money? Am I past the $500 that 85% of the people never get to? You bet. I'm at least 800 to the profit right now, every month. Okay? And I just scratched the surface. We're just getting started, folks. Because this is team effort. I'm not the only one putting people in or helping. It's a team effort. So the team now is going to help what? The 8 people get their 2 people. Okay? So once we accomplish that, my upgrade is now $440 more a month. Okay? But we now have 30 people in our group. We just got paid $3,000 more. Folks, $3,000 more. So now the job changed. We're going to help the 2 get their 32 more people on that level 32. Our upgrade fee is now $550 a month for that level. Alpes points went up to $50. Okay? So what's going to happen? Well, we have 62 people total in the 5 levels. The company's going to pay us $6,200 more. Now, folks, if you do the math, see, this is where most people don't quite understand how these numbers come across. Okay? Because, whoops, I'm sorry. I hit my mouse, I apologize. If I were to just take, and this is simple math, if I were to take and say, well, I'm making $100 per member, right? $100 per member. I could take these numbers and say all total, there's 62 people of all 5 levels, right? Well, if I do $100 times that, that's $6,200. But that's not how it works. And we're going to have to talk about that. So if I add all my expenses up, all my expenses, I have $1,649 coming out. But if I add all this up, right here, I'm going to come out with 11,400 and subtract my 1649. The payout for my first 5 levels is $9,751. Folks, it takes 62 people in the first 5 levels to create this. At the end of my first week, I broke over 100. And so if I can do it, I'm just an average person. I know most of you can do it. Okay? So let's kind of break it down. If you write on a piece of paper for me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? And across from those numbers, 2, 4, 8, 16, and 32 for me. That's the total in your first 5 levels, okay? Now, on the side from that, I want you to write the number 62 and circle it. Because 60, these are our magic numbers. 62 is your magic number. So let's break them down and show you how this income can be achieved. And you'll start to get an understanding that you can achieve it without a ton of effort. And you'll do it rather quickly. So on my first level, there's 2 people. Those 2 people are going to pay me 5 times. What do you mean, Gary? Well, I mean, they're going to upgrade 5 times. Every time they upgrade, I'm going to make $100. On my second level, which is Bob and Robert's first level, they're going to pay me 4 times. Why not 5? Well, because their 5th level is my 6th level, and we haven't started to talk about that yet, but we will. Okay? My 3rd level, Bob's 2nd level, my 3rd, they're going to pay me $100 every time they upgrade, 3 times. My 4th level is only upgrade twice, times 100, 16 times 2 times 100. And the 5th level will only upgrade 1 time for me. Why? Because their 2nd level is my 6th level. So when we add the math together, 2 times 5, Robert and Bob are going to pay me $1,000 a month on my first 2 people. Going to make $1,000 a month, folks. We just cracked the service. Their first level, Bob and Robert, and my 2nd level, going to make $1,600 a month for me. My 3rd level, 8 times 3 times 100, $2,400. My 4th level, only upgrades twice, going to make me $3,200 a month. And my 5th level, they only upgrade once, $3,200 a month. Now, let's add all the numbers up. Here we go. We add them up. 11,400. There's that number again. We look at our expenditures, 1649. When we add them all up, 129, 200, 330, 440, 550, 1649. Subtract 1649 from 11,400. Our net take-home pay, $9,751. Folks, if this doesn't change your life, I don't know what will. I don't know what to tell you. You need to check your pulse, okay? Because here's the deal. Here's the fact. 85%, probably it could even be higher, of all the foreclosures in the country could have been saved if those people had an extra $500 a month coming in. That's an astounding number, folks. But it tells me a real story that people buy the most house they can buy for the money they have at the moment never counting on the car breakdown or something breakdown, something went up, inflation hit, those type of things that made their budgets tight. Okay? So let's talk about some more money. Okay, folks? We talked about the mall with 1,000 people having potential of $5,000 a month. We know my first 5 levels will make us $9,751. Now, we have an annual upgrade of $1,100 for levels 6 through 10. That means every year we pay that $1,100 once a year. It's paid as people fall in there once you've upgraded. If you haven't upgraded and people start falling in your 6 through 10, and I promise you it will happen that way, it always does, you'll have people falling in there before you upgrade to your 5th level. Okay? So the company will put that money in a reserve bank until you upgrade. When you upgrade, it will pay you that day on all those that are banked up and any that fall in that day or upgrade that day. Okay? So it's $100 per member that fall in the downline on those levels. Now, let me bring up a really good point. The way we have built this, we actually help people qualify, and we developed our first 5 levels. And we love to see everybody do that because you're helping other people. Nobody left behind, right? So, what happens if I personally sponsor somebody after I've done my first 5 levels and somebody pops into my 6 through 10 or 11 through 20? Folks, they're going to go through these upgrades, right? They're going to go through these upgrades. But they're not my first 5 levels. Here's what happens. They're worth $5,300 a month to me. Now we're getting scary, folks. But my sponsor gets $100, his sponsor gets $100, and his sponsor gets $100. So $300 goes upline. Folks, I don't know about you, but $5,300 a month is more than $100 annually. Is it not? That's kind of scary when you think about it. So now you've turned a one-time $129 out of pocket because all upgrades and expenses come out of what? They come out of profits. It's important to remember that all your upgrades are your new monthly expense, okay? So we're going to talk about it for a second, just so you have an understanding. You have an option of an automatic button or a manual button in your back office. We're going to highly recommend you put on automatic. Here's why. Number one, you'll miss out some commissions or at least delay them because you have to manually hit that button every time you want to do that. The other reason is somebody's going to come along, turn to his wife and say, looky here, we got $5,000 in our bank. We had never had that kind of money in our savings. We could go to Reno and pull that money out, book an airline ticket, pay the motel, do some gambling, have a blast, and come back and no money in your bank to pay all the monthly expenses. You just missed out on the next 30 days of your commissions because you didn't do it right. Not worth it. Now, Bob says, hey, there's a way to do both of them. You take $3,000 out, go have a good time with that, leave $2,000 in to cover your $1,649, and you still have a good time. And he's right. You could do that. Now, at some point, you want to make sure you have an additional 1,100 in there or 2,100 as you're getting deeper and deeper to cover the lifetime one and the annual. Okay? You want to make sure those are covered. Now, if you don't, the company will bank it for you until you do, but not the point. So, moving on, we're going to have our own debit card. It's scheduled to be introduced before Christmas. Well, we're pretty close. So, you'll get a rebate every time you use the card, okay? Making it easy for you to use your earnings. Now, folks, pay attention. This is phenomenal, what you're about to hear. It pays you 1.5% rebate. So if I were to withdraw into my bank account, direct deposit, say $20,000 or so, I'm going to have the IRS's attention every time I do it. Now, does that mean I don't pay? Oh, I got to pay taxes at the end of the year. I just don't want them breathing down my neck every month. So I can load 20, 25,000 or whatever I want onto the debit card, pay all my bills, and get paid 1.5% interest for paying my bills I have to pay anyway. And I'm making it on my own earnings. Interest on my earnings, folks, instead of a fee. I like that. All right. Oops. Folks, get a hold of the person that told you about this video or this webinar, and they'll provide you with a link to register. We're here to help you succeed. We succeed together, okay? Alone we go faster, but together we go farther. We want to leave no one behind. This is not the opportunities of the past. This is the opportunity and a new way into the future. So get back with that person that